Welcome to The Lift with Sheila-Robinson-Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Thanks so much, everyone, and welcome back. Cold women, the miracle of warmth. Now, when you hear that at first, it could sound somewhat judgmental, but I want to tell you, I do not make this video in the spirit of judgment. And anyone who has watched my videos at all, you know that I hate judgment, and I make these videos as a safe space, non-judgmental tool of healing for people. So I'm not talking about cold women in a finger-pointing, chastising way. I'm referring to cold women in a healing manner, and quite frankly, it's a topic you're not going to hear a lot about, but I got the idea to make this video because, quite frankly, if a woman is cold, and I'm dealing exclusively with women in this video, it's really a tragedy because she is shut down and she is cut off. She is cut off from her vitality and cut off from her essence. I was having a conversation a few months ago with a gentleman, and he was just at his wit's end. He had been married for nearly a decade, and he said, "Sheila, she is so cold." She is so cold most of the time, but every once in a while I will see this ray of sunshine break through, and then she'll quickly kind of go back into this ice cube mode. And I'm going to say a little sidebar before I get very far into this issue of cold women. A lot of men will reach out to me, and they're 5 years, 10 years, 15 years deep into a relationship with a chilly woman, and they don't understand. Well, they do understand after we chat a little while. So often what happens is we are paired with folks who are familiar. They put us in a familiar comfort zone. So a lot of these people were parented by a cold mother or a cold father, and they just go out and find someone who makes them feel quite familiar. It's a familiar dynamic. They pair up, have children, then you look up, you've got a mortgage, and you're in a situation where, wow, there's just no warmth coming at me. So it's why I tell people all the time, pay attention to who you're partnering with and what you're doing. So if you do find yourself paired with a chilly personality, lean in to the video, because I really do have some things to share with you that I feel will be very, very helpful. But let's get on the same page with what is a cold woman? What is a cold woman? Well, let's pull some science into it. I want you to imagine that you're outside, and it's a icy, frigid day, and the air around you, you say, "Oh man, it's so cold," or "It's bone chilling cold out here." So what is happening with that air is this: the air, the molecules in the air, they are so tightly packed together. They are so dense, they are so heavy that there is no movement. There's literally very little to no movement inside of those molecules. That's really what cold is. It's heavy, it's dense, and that's what creates the chill. So when you think about what is a cold woman is someone who is disconnected from her heart and from her spirit in such a way that it prevents the movement, the expression, the essence of warmth of certain aspects of her personality. On a warm day, if you could really see the molecules around you, they're moving around, there's lots of space, there's freedom of movement and expression. That's what heat is. That's what warmth is. So when someone has an inhibition or a block, and they're just not able to access that freedom of warmth and expression, that's really what cold is. And just like you can feel the cold air, you can feel the cold energy that is coming off of someone. You'll experience it, and probably you're at home shaking your head saying, yes, she's right. I know I'm right, because I felt it myself. Now, a woman can become cold. She can become cold for one of three reasons. Number one, there is emotional, psychological, sometimes a combination of physical wounding all together that will cut her off from her heart center. Those wounds just have not healed, so she recoils and goes into that cold space. Number two, it could be issues of point of origin that cut her off from her heart center and her spirit center, and that could be being raised by cold parents and just not having that early modeling or that early experience of warmth. And then number three, there can be physical or organic issues that will prevent a woman from accessing the true essence of her heart spirit. So what do you do? What do you do if you're listening to this and you say, wow, that resonates with me? Maybe I'm one of these cold people. There's aspects of my personality that I may want to change. Perhaps I'm bringing my chilly air with me to places that I go. So step number one, very simple, well, easier to say, harder to do, is to acknowledge to yourself. And you know darn well, if you're hearing me and it resonates, chances are you probably do have some work to do in this area. Acknowledge to yourself, yeah, there's some chilly aspects to me, or my predominant personality is chilly. I want to do some work on that. And let me tell you why I feel that it's very worthy work for a person to do, is because cold energy goes hand in hand with dark energy. And they go hand in hand for a reason. Where there's cold energy, darkness is not far behind. And when you're merging those two, a lot of times cold people will find themselves, even if they have family in their lives, they'll find themselves in states of emotional isolation because people don't want to be around them, because people don't feel good around them. And then through that isolation, that's where the sadness and the darkness enters. And then where that darkness is, the degradation is not far off from that. It's just an open invitation for a lot of other problems. If you want to know it, watch some of my other videos. I go into this in detail. That coldness and darkness opens up the door to all manner of internal and external degradation. Vibrations must be kept high. They must be kept high. And warmth emitting from within will attract warmth from without, outside of yourself. So this is why this area deserves some special attention. So, how do you start to emit more of a warm vibe? Simple things you can do. I'm going to give you a one-step process, okay? Because sometimes 2 or 3 is too much. You wake up every morning, even if you don't feel like it, and you just say, you know what are 2 things that I can do today that's going to bless someone, that's going to be warm to someone? Well, Sheila, I just don't feel like that'll feel fun. Of course it's going to feel funny because you're not used to it. If you have more of a chilly disposition, it's going to feel funny. But trust me, over time, you're going to experience a melting of that ice. You're going to experience a warmth, and you're going to see more warmth coming at you. Okay, now what do you do if you're just sharing your life with someone who's chilly and you're fed up, you're not getting the love you want, the attention, the affection, etc., etc. Well, let me tell you what you don't do. What you don't want to do is keep announcing to a person, you're a cold bitch, you're this, you're that. You don't want to do that, because that's just really reinforcing this feeling that they already have. Okay, I'm stuck in an ice block. I'm just going to continue to live up to your expectation. So how you handle that, inevitably there will be that ray of sunshine that I mentioned in the beginning. You're going to see something. It could be a bit of a warm gesture. You want to take every opportunity you can to isolate that gesture. They may have been very present and warm with you and the children one particular day. There might have been a smile, a gesture. You want to stop. You want to acknowledge that. You want to isolate that and say, that is everything. That is everything for me. When you do that, it makes me feel so, so good. And you want to train them into seeing the possibilities of their warmth. I cannot tell you how many women I've worked with say, Sheila, I don't want to be this way. In my head, I could see myself being another way, but I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to continue to come off as cold, remote, and distant. So you don't want to reinforce that. You want to help them see the possibilities. You do have the power in you to light up a room. How you behave, how you act does have an effect on me and does have an effect on this family. You have a lot of power, and you can choose which direction you want to use it in. So that's just my 2 cents on cold women. And I know that if a woman is cold, she's not at her best. I can say that confidently. So I hope that this video has helped. I'm going to be making more, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.